I do not believe it is outlandish to say that the Harry Potter series written by J.K. Rowling is the most popular coming-of-age story in modern media. The book series and the film franchise, which is named the Wizarding World franchise, our topic of discussion today, have both received countless praise from adults and kids alike. Nonetheless, despite all the fun that can be had with such a legendarium, its system of magic has many inconsistencies. Now, these flaws might be dismissible for story convenience, but when it comes to asking whether the system itself is realistic or not, it becomes quite nagging. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Movies with Michael. Before I begin, I would like to say that I have not read all of the books in the Wizarding World, so if there's anything that I get objectively wrong about the characters, setting, or plot, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. There are some things that I'd like to cover right out of the gate. Firstly, in my research, I have concluded that the origins, that is, the sources of magical humans, witches and wizards, are undefined. Secondly, that magic itself has no moral stance. It only depends on how it is used. It's not good or evil, it just matters about how you use it. Now, I know that there are 3 curses that the Ministry of Magic have deemed unforgivable and henceforth punishable. I will discuss this later on. To discuss further into the sources of supernatural power, the Wizarding World has a large variety of supernatural and sometimes spiritual beings and beasts. Still, none of these figures are to blame for the origins of supernatural power or magic in the Wizarding World. There is no mention of any god, if you will, or supernatural being that first introduced magic to mankind, sparking the existence of its subset, wizardkind. The closest thing that we get to this is the story of how Death himself gave the 3 Peverell brothers the 3 Deathly Hallows. This story is still left very mysterious, and it is never confirmed to have actually happened. Either way, it wouldn't matter, because the 3 Peverell brothers, as we are told, were already very learned in the magical arts when they encountered death and received the Deathly Hallows. The sources of magic, henceforth, are still undefined. Now, magic is still in the series, though at the end of the day, it's still going to be there, so let's talk about how it's used. The lawmakers of the uses of magic in the Wizarding World, the Ministries of Magic, made laws outlawing the use of 3 curses in 1717. These 3 curses are the Cruciatus Curse, which is torture, the Imperious Curse, which is mind control, and the Killing Curses. The use of these curses on any human being is punishable by imprisonment for life in one of the prisons for criminal wizards. In Harry Potter's case, it would have been the prison Azkaban. Besides these very small set of curses, every other type of magic isn't bad or good. Like, it's not really against the rules, against the laws to use it. It just depends on how you use that particular spell, curse, or charm. To discuss deeper into the unforgivable curses, there is no definite answer as to why the Ministry of Magic outlawed these 3 specifically. Is it just because they allow you, with ease, essentially, to do terrible things to other people? Maybe, but there are other curses and spells and charms that we see in the Wizarding World used that you can use them in pretty terrible ways as well. If so, then what makes those 3 unforgivable curses inherently evil as compared to the others? As for the Killing Curse, what makes murder or killing someone a violation against nature, as Professor Slughorn deems it? If Slughorn is right about this, then why is it that animals and other things in nature and life killing each other all the time, is that not against nature for some reason? As one can tell, there are many questions left unanswered, and many things undefined. Now, one of the main points of the last story of Harry Potter, the Deathly Hallows, is that power corrupts the soul. This makes sense with wizards like Tom Riddle, aka Lord Voldemort, whose obsessive search of power and for immortality got him killed by his own spell. The other best examples of this are Antioch Peverell and Gellert Grindelwald, who both met their demise through their power lust. However, Albus Dumbledore had the Elder Wand, which is the first of the Deathly Hallows and the most powerful wand in existence, for almost 40 years. And Dumbledore never ended up being a brash, cruel, or malevolent leader, despite having all that power for so long. Now, he had it more than both Antioch and Grindelwald. What made Albus different from the previous wielders of the Elder Wand? Was he just a better person than them? Now we get into the question of what makes a person good or bad in the wizarding world, or whether humans are inherently good or bad. That's a whole nother discussion that I'm going to keep for another time. Once again, though, those things are left to oblivion, if you will. By this point, you're probably concluding that I'm being nitpicky and unfair to the magic of the series, but there's a reason why I'm calling these things to attention. These problems make the Wizarding World's magic system unrealistic, and I'll explain what I mean. Yes, I know the series is fiction, but that doesn't matter for what I'm about to say. In reality, good things are good and bad things are bad, and good storytelling and literature should reflect that. In the real world, any magic, supernatural power, or any power for that matter, in the hands of humans, it doesn't end well. And either quickly or slowly, it corrupts them and it accelerates the humans' selfish intent and power lust. In the Wizarding World series, we are shown that magic corrupts the minority, because most of the wizards we meet aren't bad ones, or dark ones. Also, real magic, real supernatural power, has to come from a supernatural source or supernatural being. It can't just be there. If the series took these things into account, the story would have been very different, but it would have made more sense. With that, folks, we have made it to the end of another video, and if you've made it this far, thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, comment down below what you thought about the video, as well as what you think about the Wizarding World and its magical system as well. And subscribe for more content about movies, and I will see you all next time.